Imagine your body as a finely tuned instrument, capable of creating harmony when balanced, but also easily thrown into chaos when tension builds. Stress is that tension. It's not always bad. In fact, short bursts of stress can sharpen focus and motivate action. But when it lingers, when a mind never gets the signal to relax, that same energy that once helped you perform starts to quietly wear you down. Today, we're exploring the real science of stress management and the evidence-based techniques that help your body find its way back to calm. Deep breathing, exercise, and mindfulness. Let's begin with something simple but profound: your breath. The first thing you did when you entered the world was take a breath, and the last thing you'll do when you leave is exhale. Breathing is automatic, but it's also one of the only bodily functions we can consciously control. When you slow your breathing, you're not just calming your mind, but directly speaking to your nervous system. Scientists call this the parasympathetic response, or the rest and digest mode. Deep breathing activates the vagus nerve, which runs from your brainstem down through your chest and abdomen. When stimulated, it lowers heart rate, reduces blood pressure, and signals to the brain that the threat is gone. One of the simplest and most powerful ways to do this is through diaphragmatic breathing, breathing deeply into your belly instead of your chest. Try this. Inhale slowly through your nose for a count of 4, letting your abdomen rise as air fills your lungs. Hold for a second, then exhale gently through your mouth for a count of 6. That long exhale is the key. It's what activates your body's relaxation response. Repeat it for a few minutes, and your brain begins to shift from alert mode to recovery mode. Studies have shown that even a few minutes of deep breathing can lower cortisol, the primary stress hormone, and increase alpha brainwaves, the same one seen in relaxed, meditative states. Next, let's talk about movement. Exercise is often described as nature's antidepressant, but it's also one of the most effective stress regulators we know. When you move your body, your brain releases a cascade of chemicals, endorphins, dopamine, serotonin, that balance mood and create a sense of calm and clarity. This isn't just a psychological effect, it's deeply biological. Physical activity literally changes your brain's chemistry and structure. It strengthens neural circuits that regulate emotion and dampens the overactive fear centers in your brain that make stress feel overwhelming. But here's the surprising part. You don't need to train for a marathon to get these benefits. Even short bouts of activity, like a brisk 10-minute walk, can significantly lower stress levels. The key is consistency. When you exercise regularly, your body becomes better at managing stress hormones. Your heart rate recovers faster, your muscles store less tension, and your brain learns that not every challenge is a crisis. Think of it as training your nervous system the way you train a muscle. Over time, your baseline level of calm rises, and what used to trigger anxiety barely moves the needle. Now, let's bring in the mind's secret weapon, mindfulness. For years, people dismissed mindfulness as something mystical or abstract, but neuroscience has given it scientific credibility. At its core, mindfulness is the practice of paying full attention to the present moment, without judgment, without reacting automatically. When practiced regularly, mindfulness rewires the brain. MRI studies show that it shrinks the amygdala, the part of the brain responsible for the fight or flight response, and strengthens the prefrontal cortex, the region responsible for rational thought and emotional control. Imagine you're stuck in traffic, your heart pounding, irritation rising. Normally, your mind jumps into overdrive, complaining, catastrophizing, tensing up. But mindfulness teaches you to observe that reaction instead of becoming it. You might notice your breath quicken, your grip tighten, your mind spiral, and simply say, "I'm feeling stressed." That small act of awareness interrupts the automatic pattern. It creates space between stimulus and response. Over time, that space grows larger, and you gain more control over how you handle stress. Mindfulness doesn't require hours of meditation on a mountaintop. It can be as simple as taking 2 minutes to close your eyes and focus on your breath before a meeting, or paying full attention while drinking your morning coffee. The warmth, the aroma, the taste. These small moments of presence accumulate. They train your brain to stay anchored, even when life gets chaotic. Now, let's make this personal through a story. Sarah is a manager who constantly feels overwhelmed. Her phone buzzes all day with messages, her meetings pile up, and even when she's home, her mind keeps replaying work problems. She lies in bed, exhausted but unable to sleep. Sound familiar? Many of us are living versions of Sarah. For her, immediate relief could come from simple breathing exercises. When she feels her chest tighten in a stressful meeting, she could use the 4 to 6 breathing technique to slow her heart rate and calm her mind. That's her emergency break. For longer-term resilience, Sarah could integrate exercise into her routine, not as punishment, but as recovery. A 20-minute walk after work, yoga in the morning, or a short gym session 3 times a week can change how her body processes stress entirely. Each movement session signals to her brain, "I'm safe. I'm in control." It strengthens her resilience. And mindfulness? That's her rewiring tool. By setting aside 10 minutes a day to meditate or journal, she can observe her thoughts instead of drowning in them. Within weeks, she'll notice that her triggers lose some of their power. She reacts less, recovers faster, and sleeps better. These 3 techniques, breathing, movement, mindfulness, work together like a symphony. Breathing brings instant calm. Exercise strengthens long-term balance. And mindfulness rewires the mental framework that creates stress in the first place. They don't erase life's challenges, but they change your relationship with them. They give you agency over your biology. And that's the real secret. Stress management isn't about eliminating stress. It's about learning how to guide your body and mind back to equilibrium. Modern research keeps reinforcing this truth. Studies from Harvard and Stanford show that mindfulness-based stress reduction can lower cortisol levels by up to 25% and improve sleep quality dramatically. Regular aerobic exercise has been linked to thicker gray matter in areas of the brain responsible for emotional regulation. Deep breathing has been proven to activate the vagus nerve and decrease inflammatory markers in the blood. This isn't self-help, it's neuroscience at work. The more you practice, the more your brain learns. Neurons that fire together wire together. Every time you choose a calming breath instead of a stress spiral, you're physically reshaping your neural pathways. Over time, this becomes your new default. Your body starts responding to life with balance instead of panic. Stress will always exist. It's part of being human. But the difference between thriving and burning out lies in your response. You could train your body to recover faster, think clearer, and stay grounded even in chaos. Think of your nervous system as a thermostat. You have the power to reset it. Each breath, each movement, each mindful pause is a signal telling your brain, "I'm safe. I'm okay. I can handle this." So the next time stress creeps in, when your heart races, your thoughts spin, and your body feels tight, pause. Inhale deeply, exhale slowly. Feel your feet on the ground. Let your shoulders drop. Remind yourself that your body has everything it needs to find calm. The science is on your side. Your biology was built for balance. Managing stress isn't about escaping pressure. It's about mastering the art of recovery. With practice, what once felt overwhelming becomes manageable. And one day, you'll notice the shift. Not because life got easier, but because you got stronger, calmer, and more in tune with the rhythm of your own breath. Imagine you're sitting at your desk late at night, the glow of your computer screen casting long shadows on the wall. Your heart is beating a little faster than usual. Your mind is racing through tomorrow's to-do list, unfinished emails, and that meeting you're dreading. You close your laptop, but the tension doesn't fade. It lingers heavy in your chest. You try to sleep, but your thoughts won't stop spinning. This isn't just you. It's Sarah. It's millions of people around the world. And it's what chronic stress feels like in real life. But what if there were simple, evidence-based techniques that could switch your body from chaos to calm, that could help you regain control over your mind and restore balance in your life? Let's explore exactly how that works. When Sarah feels anxious, her body is doing exactly what it was designed to do, protect her. The brain's alarm system, known as the amygdala, senses threat and activates the fight or flight response. Stress hormones like cortisol and adrenaline surge through her bloodstream, increasing heart rate, tensing muscles, and sharpening focus. For our ancestors, this was essential for survival. But for Sarah, whose threat is an overflowing inbox, that same system is constantly switched on. Over time, this chronic activation can lead to exhaustion, anxiety, and even physical illness. So the goal isn't to eliminate stress entirely, it's to learn how to regulate it. That's where evidence-based techniques like deep breathing, exercise, and mindfulness come in. Let's start with the simplest yet most powerful tool Sarah can use for immediate relief: her breath. The science of deep breathing, also known as diaphragmatic breathing, is astonishingly effective. When she takes slow, deep breaths, inhaling through her nose and exhaling through her mouth, she's not just calming her mind, she's activating her parasympathetic nervous system, the body's natural relaxation response. Research from Harvard Medical School shows that just a few minutes of deep breathing can lower blood pressure, slow the heart rate, and reduce cortisol levels. Sarah could try the 4-7-8 technique. Inhale for 4 seconds, hold for 7, and exhale for 8. Within a minute or two, her body begins to shift from stress mode to a state of calm alertness. But breathing is just the beginning. Another powerful evidence-based approach is physical exercise. When Sarah feels overwhelmed, her body is flooded with stress hormones, and movement is one of the most effective ways to metabolize them. Exercise acts as a natural reset button. Studies from the American Psychological Association show that even 20 minutes of moderate exercise, like brisk walking or cycling, can significantly reduce anxiety and improve mood. This isn't just psychological, it's biochemical. Exercise boosts endorphins, dopamine, and serotonin, neurotransmitters that elevate mood and counteract the effects of stress hormones. Over time, regular exercise also enhances neuroplasticity, helping the brain adapt more effectively to future stress. Imagine Sarah finishing a long day of work. Instead of collapsing on the couch with her laptop, she decides to take a 30-minute walk outside. The rhythmic movement of her steps, the changing scenery, and the fresh air all send calming signals to her brain. By the time she returns, her body has processed much of the built-up tension. She feels lighter, clearer, and more focused. Exercise not only helps in a moment, but builds long-term resilience, strengthening both her body and mind against stress overload. Now, while breathing and exercise handle the physical side of stress, mindfulness tackles the mental side. Mindfulness isn't just a buzzword. It's one of the most researched and scientifically validated methods for reducing stress and improving emotional regulation. In essence, mindfulness trains Sarah's brain to focus on the present moment rather than ruminating about the past or worrying about the future. Studies from institutions like Stanford and Johns Hopkins have shown that mindfulness-based stress reduction programs can lower anxiety, improve sleep, and even reduce activity in the brain's fear center. For Sarah, mindfulness could start with something simple: 5 minutes of focused attention. She might sit comfortably, close her eyes, and pay attention to her breathing or the sensations in her body. When her mind inevitably wanders, she gently brings it back without judgment. Over time, this practice reshapes her brain. MRI studies show that consistent mindfulness meditation can actually increase the thickness of the prefrontal cortex, the part of the brain responsible for decision-making and emotional control. That means Sarah is literally rewiring her brain to handle stress better. But what about those nights when Sarah lies awake, her thoughts spinning, unable to rest? That's when she can combine techniques. She could start with deep breathing to calm her nervous system, then use a mindfulness approach like body scanning, focusing on each part of her body from head to toe, noticing tension and letting it go. If she adds a relaxing evening routine, dimming the lights, avoiding screens, and maybe doing some gentle stretching, she's signaling to her brain that it's safe to unwind. For long-term resilience, Sarah also needs to build what scientists call stress tolerance capacity. That means strengthening her overall system, so she can handle challenges without feeling overwhelmed. Beyond breathing, mindfulness, and exercise, several other evidence-based strategies can help. One is maintaining strong social connections. Research consistently shows that people with supportive relationships recover from stress faster and live longer, healthier lives. When Sarah talks to a trusted friend or family member, her brain releases oxytocin, sometimes called the bonding hormone. It counteracts cortisol and promotes feelings of calm and safety. Nutrition also plays a major role. A growing field known as nutritional psychiatry highlights how what we eat affects how we feel. Diets rich in omega-3 fatty acids, magnesium, and antioxidants have been shown to reduce inflammation and support brain health. For Sarah, that could mean incorporating foods like salmon, leafy greens, berries, and nuts in her meals. A balanced gut microbiome, the ecosystem of bacteria in the digestive system, also influences mood and stress resilience. Eating fermented foods like yogurt, kimchi, or kefir can support healthy gut function, which in turn sends calming signals to the brain. Sleep is another cornerstone of stress management. Chronic stress often disrupts sleep, and poor sleep amplifies stress, creating a vicious cycle. To break it, Sarah can follow evidence-based sleep hygiene practices, maintaining a consistent bedtime, keeping her bedroom dark and cool, and avoiding caffeine or screens before bed. Research shows that quality sleep restores the brain's emotional circuits, making us less reactive and more capable of handling stress the next day. Finally, gratitude and positive reflection may seem simple, but their effects are profound. Neuroscientists have found that regularly practicing gratitude, writing down 3 things you're thankful for each day, can rewire the brain's reward system and increase resilience against stress. For Sarah, taking a few moments before bed to reflect on what went well could shift her focus from what's wrong to what's right, helping her mind rest peacefully. Now, let's imagine Sarah applying all of this in her real life. She starts her mornings with a few deep breaths before checking her phone. During her lunch break, she takes a short walk outside to clear her mind. In the evenings, she practices mindfulness for 10 minutes, followed by a calming routine that helps her sleep better. Over the weeks, she notices something remarkable. She's still busy. Her work hasn't magically disappeared, but she's responding differently. Her heart doesn't race as quickly, her sleep improves, and she feels a steady sense of control returning. The beauty of these techniques is that they're backed by science, yet accessible to everyone. You don't need expensive equipment or hours of free time. You just need consistency. Small actions, repeated daily, signal safety to your body and reprogram your brain to stay calm even under pressure. When you feel the weight of stress pressing down, whether it's work deadlines, personal struggles, or just the noise of modern life, remember, your body already has the tools to heal itself. With deep breathing, mindful awareness, movement, and meaningful connections, you can activate your own relaxation response and build resilience from the inside out. Like Sarah, you can move from constant survival mode to genuine balance. And once you do, you'll realize that calm isn't the absence of challenges. It's the ability to meet them from a place of strength and clarity.
If you find this video informative, please hit the like button, subscribe this channel, and feel free to share your comments.